Good evening, everyone. And thank you once again for joining us here at the Blue Lotus Meditation and Mindfulness Center here in Brainerd, Minnesota. Thank you for joining us again for our bi-weekly live stream. And I am so grateful and pleased to see you spend some of your precious time with us this evening, whether it's live or perhaps you're watching this on a replay. I am grateful that you're spending some of your time with us. So thank you very much. So tonight's Dharma talk for today, today is May 16th, 2022. It's a little 6 p.m. here, right, in the central time zone where I am. Tonight's topic, we'll be talking about the five precepts of Buddhism, the five precepts to liberation, the Buddha's teachings from his Dharma talk, on how to live a wholesome life, right? How we can achieve less suffering for us and less suffering for others. That's such an important aspiration for us to live up to and to try to do our best on these precepts. But before we begin, why don't we begin with our guided meditation? And this is on living a wholesome life, which is certainly important in these times of confusion and just unawareness that many beings experience, and the dissatisfactions that we often have to bear and live with at times. So living a wholesome life, we can minimize those moments of sadness and those moments of suffering for what or whatnot. And so living a wholesome life. So why don't we begin? Go ahead and let's begin by taking a moment to settle our bodies into a nice, comfortable position. You may close your eyes or keep them open with a soft focus, looking downward, just a few feet in front of you. If you choose to keep your eyes closed, that's fine. Whatever works best for you. And breathe in. Pause. And slowly exhale. You can do it through your exhale through your mouth or through your nose. Whatever works best for you. And while you sit there, you're also invited to put a half smile on your face as well. Meditation is a relaxing and rewarding experience. Allow your spine to lift and your shoulders to soften. Breathe in. Pause. And slowly exhale. And just let your breathing resume to a nice, natural pattern or rhythm. Don't force anything. And let's meditate on living that wholesome life. Recall a time when you watched children play. Maybe they were at a park, or maybe they were at a playground. Maybe you were passing by a school and saw all of these children running, laughing, swinging on the swing sets, climbing on the monkey bars or some other type of climbing structure. Try to recall the smiles on their faces, and the sounds of joy and laughter as they ran around. Whatever the activity they were doing with wholesomeness. There was no malice. There was no greed. There was no anger. There was no jealousy. There was no trying to get ahead in any of their actions. And breathe in. Pause. And slowly exhale. Now, let's shift our focus or our minds just slightly, and we can guide ourselves over to thinking of a pet or an animal that we might have. It could be a dog. It could be a cat. Could be a bird. Or perhaps even a fish. Doesn't matter. And as you bring this companion to mind, recall a time when they were pleased to see you. Maybe you were coming home from a long day at work. Maybe you were coming home from dinner with friends. Maybe you were just coming home from the grocery store. Doesn't matter. As you recall walking in through that door, think how your pet reacted when they saw you. Maybe they wagged their tail and jumped all over you. Just all excited to see you. Maybe they gently brush against your legs as you enter the door. Maybe they even swam very excitedly in the bowl. Fish recognize people too. They get excited as well. And breathe in. Pause. Slowly exhale. Now think about the lives, both children and those pets that you have maybe live. They both have the same needs you do. Air, food, water, shelter, love. But both of these groups, they both live wholesome lives. They too have to make decisions in their lives. And they make those decisions based on not hurting anyone else. Very often, those decisions brighten someone else's day. Each one of those decisions that they make, they embody within it loving kindness. When you need to make a decision, reflect on that decision, and is it based on loving kindness? When it's time for you to make that decision, whatever it may be, ask yourself, is this decision based on love? Is this decision based on kindness? Is this decision based on compassion? Is this decision healthy for my mind? Is this decision healthy for my body? Breathe in. Pause. And slowly exhale. When we make decisions based on these qualities, we find that we will naturally live a wholesome and fulfilling life. Go ahead and begin to open your eyes more slowly and maybe reorientate yourself to your surroundings before you stand up or move about. Wonderful. We don't have to live complicated or distracted lives. We can easily live wholesome and rewarding lives. And have you ever seen a stick or a leaf or perhaps some other type of debris just floating downstream, just gently floating, towards its destination, wherever that stream may go. But then it gets caught up in some type of, circular eddy, right? Those little spinning little whirlpools where they get stuck and they go round and round, not going forwards, not going backwards. Without some type of guidance or virtues or precepts, people too can certainly become like that debris, that stick, just going round and round, becoming dizzy, disorientated, confused. What's important? What's not important? What's a good life? What's not a good life? Not moving forwards or towards that harmony and the balance that we all seek, and they certainly seek as well. No one wants to be spinning round and round. The Buddha, 2,500 years ago or so, he transmitted to us his Dharma, his teachings, his knowledge for liberating the mind from this suffering, from this confusion, from this spinning round and round like that debris. And among his teachings, which for all mankind he gives and he transmits to us, these 5 precepts. And the first precept that he gives to us is the abstinence, or to abstain from killing, the taking of a life. A human life, a cow, a bird, a mosquito. To abstain from killing. All life is precious. And it's not to say that you may or may not instinctively, right, swat at that mosquito that bites you or something like that. Intention is important as well when it comes time for that abstinence of killing a living being. But we do our best, right, not to take the life of a sentient being. I like to think that a good way to kind of maybe view that is if it runs from you, it wants to live. And that's important. When we realize the suffering that we impose or inflict upon others by taking a life, we could never want that done to us, and we could never want someone else to experience those feelings of sadness. And the abstinence of killing also goes to, causing someone else, or maybe paying someone else. I don't know. We refrain from anything that puts us in that direct line of taking someone's or another being's life. Life is too precious. I was asked once as well too, like, well, what about plants? They have feelings, right? But they're not sentient, right? They don't have that awareness that a living being does. And so, something to consider. His second precept is the abstinence from stealing. Don't take what's not yours. Don't borrow without asking. Don't make that assumption, I'll just put it back. Another way to kind of think about that is, don't take anything that has not been freely given to you. Right? So that even means, oh, the neighbor's not home, I'll just borrow his lawnmower and put it back. They'll never know. That's still the same thing. We all work hard, and to have something taken from us that may really be a necessity for someone's in our family's life too. It could be food, right? Or money to pay the rent, or the mortgage, or a car note, or for gas. But it's not only property. It can also be time. Don't squander someone else's time. They're trying to do their best to support themselves and their families as well. So when you misappropriate their time one way or the other, that can be a form of stealing as well. The abstinence of sexual misconduct is his third precept. And what does that mean, sexual misconduct? I mean, it certainly means rape, or violence against another person. It could be the quid pro quo, sexual harassment towards another. But it is also engaging in prostitution, bigamy, cheating. If you have a spouse, or maybe you're in a serious committed relationship, you don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings, because even if they don't know about it, you're still taking away something from them, from that person, because they're trusting you. And you're diminishing yourself. You're hurting yourself as well. Sex is to be enjoyed between committed people. loving. It's a bond. It's trust. And so when we violate that trust, that hurts. And we certainly would not like that done to us, so we would not do that to someone else. This fourth precept is to abstain from wrong speech. We don't lie. We don't brag to make ourselves look good. We also don't gossip. Right? So a lot of us like to, at times, we all have, I suppose, at one point or another, maybe hung around the coffee machine or the water cooler at our jobs and maybe gossiped about someone else. Most of the time, gossip is not true. And it is one person's perspective. And that can cause hurt and suffering towards someone else. And it also causes hurt and suffering to you. So be truthful. We don't make ourselves more than what we are. Being honest. There's that saying, right? If you tell the truth all the time, you don't have to remember a different story for whoever you told it to. So be truthful. It doesn't mean you have to be untactful, though, right? You can still be truthful and be compassionate towards someone else's feelings. We don't have to be blunt and rude. And that is wrong speech as well, rudeness, right? Or sarcasm. That's wrong speech as well. And then the fifth precept is the abstinence from intoxicating substances that bring about inattentiveness, right? Think about what happens if you drink too much, or maybe you do illicit drugs for legitimate non-medicinal purposes. Look how many drunk driving accidents that there are. Then that goes, back to the first precept, the abstinence from killing. You've broken two right there. And maybe you lie about a story. Maybe you didn't harm someone else, but maybe you damaged a car and you tell them, I don't know what happened to it. Or maybe you lie to your insurance company, all because of an intoxicating substance. Because we were inattentive as a result of consuming that particular substance. And these 5 precepts are liberating because when we tell the truth, we don't have to worry about hurting somebody else's feelings. We're not hurting anyone physically or sexually. We're not lying. We're not causing someone to die, or whether it's intentional or not. And that's the liberation that these 5 precepts give to us. We can still have so many freedoms and just have these simple rules, responsibilities, guidelines for us to follow to give us that liberation. And none of these precepts are more important than the other. Following one of the precepts will inevitably lead to following another. and then another, and then the other, until they all become just so natural. Like that flowing stick doesn't get caught up in that eddy, or that leaf doesn't get caught up in that eddy spinning round and round. It flows gently towards its destination. It leads to wholesomeness towards our life, and wholesomeness towards others too. So when we follow these precepts, we are giving ourselves love and kindness and compassion. I think they're wonderful precepts. I think they're wonderful ways, wonderful tools to incorporate into our lives. Let's try them out. See how that works. See if you experience that liberation, that feeling of joy in all that you do and see. You'll connect much more in-depthly, not with just yourself, but with the world around you and the people that you interact with. I see we're kind of a little bit over time, but that's okay. Our next Dharma talk will be on May 30th, again from 6 to 6:30. It's always on a Monday. On May 29th, we have our free silent meditation retreat at our location, at our property here. It's from 7 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. You're welcome to stay the entire time or just part of the time. There's no right or wrong way to do it. What works best for you works best for everybody, right? It's all about growing, connecting. So it's a beautiful scenic area that we are located in, and you may see our friendly little groundhog that likes to pay a visit, or sometimes the hummingbirds and the butterflies come by too. So you're more than welcome to join us. Again, it's free. So we hope to see you there. We also have our Resiliency Plus training. You can certainly sign up for that on our website as well. It's a 6-week program to not just help you live through trying times, but to bounce, to really thrive, to really be resilient with a plusness to it. We also have our weekly Sanghas and our healing and our veterans Sangha, our rainbow Sangha and our teen Sangha. And I am so pleased to also offer a new one. It's our New Beginnings Sangha, right? It's for those of our friends and maybe even family members who suffer from addiction. Any kind of addiction, gambling, alcohol, sex, any kind of addiction that you are or family member are coping with, you're more than welcome to join us. And we have our private meditation services as well. And if you want something more intimate in a more private setting, always welcome to schedule some time with me for those sessions as well. I'm here to help any way that I can. And with that, my friends, concludes our live stream, our Dharma talk and guided meditation for today, May 16th, 2022. And with that, my friends, until next time, I wish you all an evening of peace, ease, and well-being.